Here we go, it's the show you've been waiting for. Just sit back, you will see, you're gonna want some more. We talk about love, life, and fun, all in one. Let's take a ride, it just begun. Come on everybody, you're sure to get your laugh on. It's the Candy and Cap Show.
Good morning, and good morning. It is your hump day. It is Wednesday, right, Kevin?
Yes, it is Wednesday.
I promise y'all, I'm losing track of days. I am losing track of days. If I think we have reached the phase that if I had a volleyball, I would be talking to Wilson. Remember Wilson on the Tom Hanks movie when he was trapped on the island? Well, anyway, you all know, if this is your first time joining our show, this is the time we ask you to do one simple thing for us, and that is to hit that share button. Not going to do anything. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do, so that's what I'm doing as we speak. I'm going to just go ahead and start hitting that share button. Oh, okay, with the new share button. Hit that share button. I mean, Kevin, your skin, I must say, I'm just loving all your... Are you having fun doing this? Be honest.
How this work?
With all this, with all the new graphics and things like that, are you having fun?
I'm actually just trying to perfect certain things. You know, I want to give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
Now, did they ask for it?
No, but you know.
Well, no, I have to say that on yesterday's show, somebody did say, okay, with the graphics, that's all kept creating that stuff.
You know what? What we're doing is we are perfecting our craft for when we go on TV. So a lot of this stuff I won't have to do anymore.
Thank you,
but
God.
At least I'll know what we want. So when we tell producers or we tell people that are producing, this is what I want to see, you know. And if I can do it on my own, you have a whole team.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
When we get to the TV studio, you gonna stay in your lane, right? You're not gonna be over there telling the graphic design people.
I know how to give up and let them handle it. Like, you know, but at the same time,
is the CEO going to come down to our green room and say, I'm going to just need y'all to do what y'all do and let my people do what they do?
I think that as even as a talent, you should still at least know the back ends of stuff.
Yeah,
so
I
agree.
Know
exactly. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just learning it. So when it's time,
I just hit a button.
Oh, okay.
Did y'all see Kevin's face?
Like, what are you touching?
But we are so happy to have you here with us today on this hump. Yeah, you come on over. Get a little closer, baby. Get a little closer.
The closer I get to you, the more you make me feel. I'm surprised I knew that many words.
That's I'm waiting. I'm not stopping.
Giving you all I got. Back to the show now. I've got the rest of the
Your
words.
love has captured
me.
No, your love has captured me.
Then what's the rest? Sweeter and sweeter love goes.
No, let's just get back to the show. So, welcome to Car Conversations, the Stay Home edition. Thank you for joining us. I have to say, yesterday's show was an amazing show. And we had so much going on that guess what we forgot to do? We told you on Monday that we were going to be celebrating a mother each day leading up to Mother's Day. Yes. And we had so many things going on yesterday that we forgot to do so. So don't worry, we are going to make sure we do that today. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask you to hit that share button.
Hit
that share button. Come on. I have to sit in these production meetings because I didn't know things had sound effects and music to them now. So again, we have two more days in this week. And if you know of an awesome mother doing her thing and maybe just needs a little pick me up, please DM Kevin. Please DM Kevin and let us know who that mother is. You don't have to get all into her personal business. We don't want to know anybody's personal business. But what we want to do is celebrate a mother doing her thing. Guess what? She doesn't have to be a single mother. She could be a married mother. She could be... Now, the only thing I'm not accepting, I'm going to put it out there. I'm not accepting like a dog mom or a cat mom. I thought you were going to
say single men that have to play the role of mom.
No, that's on Father's Day. We're going to do that for fathers.
Yeah. So women, we're not going to do that for you on Father's Day neither.
This is your opportunity. She doesn't have to be a single mother. She doesn't even have to be, a less fortunate mother. It's just a mother that's doing her thing. And it's just, in your opinion, a good mom.
I think I have somebody did you have somebody?
But again, like I said, the only thing I'm not accepting is like a pet mom. Well, if there's and we, as you both know, we are animal lovers, but we want mothers of human beings. She could be an adoptive mother. She could be a foster mother. She can be a stand-in mother. But if
she could be a mother, watch your mouth. Carry on.
But we want to celebrate a mother. So by the end of today's show, we will announce the mother that we're honoring today. But be sure to DM Kevin with your nominations. On Monday, we were able to celebrate Anna Rudy. Not only is she a longtime supporter of the show, but we know her personally, and she is personally an awesome mother.
Shout out to what she did yesterday for her oldest son. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you, JC. And she went ahead. He works at a particular location. She went and moved his car. They decorated his car.
He thought his car was stolen.
Yeah, when he came out to the car, it was a line of cars lined up, and they beeped and said happy birthday to him. They had happy birthday stuff. So that's the reason why we celebrated Anna. She's a single mother on one income that's taking care of her boys to the best of her know-how, and she does a phenomenal job. They don't miss a beat. So shout out to her. So we'll get to the end of the show. Do you want to wait till the end of the show?
Yeah. We're just not going to do it right this second.
Because we being forgot, Candy.
No, I'm going to remember. I forgot to post it up here, but we're going to remember this. It was just like yesterday. Did you guys enjoy yesterday's show? By a show of hearts or hands or however you want to do it. Did you enjoy yesterday's show? I want to tell you just so you know, as soon as we went off the air up until about noon, we were receiving inboxes, messages about how much other people enjoyed the show, and they wanted to know when were we bringing Dr. Erica back. As I mentioned on yesterday's show, Dr. Erica, who is a very busy person and high demand because she is an expert in her field, she has consented to be a part of the process. Yes. She will be our resident marriage and family and sexologist therapist for the show. So yesterday was not the last that you will see of her. You can continue to submit questions for our next segment with Dr. Erica. Kevin, let's get on. I just love it. I wish y'all could see his board over here. He has so much going on. I just love it. But what do we have going on for today? Wait, are we celebrating small business? Oh, it's the small business that we're celebrating today because, as you know, we are using our platform every day to try to celebrate a small business. Speaking of Mother's Day, this was a Mother's Day present that my kids had purchased for me a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. If you know, I always use the hashtag Unbreakable Candy, and it has a personal meaning to me. Long story short, I had a lot of things that happened in my life that tried to break me, but I was resolved not to let it break me. I might bend, but I won't break. And so I just have to stand up. So a number of years ago, my husband and my kids purchased this shirt for me. from a small business that at this time we would like to acknowledge. Didn't we get this one from LaFay? Oh, never mind. Scratch.
It wasn't a small business.
Oh, I thought this was from Left Lane. Oh, well, y'all go on and check out Left Lane anyway.
Left Lane is one of my people that makes a lot of my shirts. That's custom made. Anytime I need something, I'll go ahead and email him real quick, text it over to him, and he gets it ready. I'll go pick it up from the mall. He's in Deptford Mall.
Richard wants to know if you're cold while you're zipping all the way up.
Because I don't have no shirt on under here.
Oh, zip that back up.
I don't got no shirt on under here, man.
I don't know, that looked a little sexy. Let's see. Just give him a little bit.
Give him a little bit.
Just give him a little bit.
I ain't had no shirt on under there. So he always makes all of my stuff for me so far. We had another person as well that makes, but he was one of my first go-to guys. All the shirts that you see like that have been wearing recently have with Candy and Kevin logos on it has been by him. So shout out to Left Lane. He can be found in Deptford Mall. If you ever go in there, just ask for my man Left Lane. They'll know exactly who he's talking about. He has his own clothing line as well. So that's my homie. So listen, Candy. It was something that I saw yesterday. And our good friend and one of our day ones, Ernest, had put this particular thing up, and I thought it was so. I was like, wow, that's amazing because so many people really deal with this. And I'm gonna put this particular hold on one second. It says, see, Kenny, I don't know why you did that. My wife changed. Never mind. But it says people who make others happy usually the most broken ones.
So I'm going to read that again for the people in the back. What does that mean? People who make others happy are usually the most broken ones.
That's right.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I read it just like it said. You missed it. It was a word missing. That's why you got confused too.
People who make others happy are usually the most broken ones. So what you want to say about that, Kev?
When I thought about it, a lot of times the life of a party is usually the person that's hiding behind certain things. And it made me think of certain people that have was like, for instance, it made me think of Robin Williams, who was a comedian who entertained people. He was funny. His life journey was to make people laugh, but yet he was suffering on the inside with his own personal conflicts, and he wasn't happy. So it made me start to think of like John Belushi, certain people like that.
And a lot of these people, a lot of the people that you're naming had mental health issues around depression and things of those nature, and other types.
So I thought it would be a great conversation because first of all, for people that don't know, my wife is a clinical. What'd you hit me for? She's a psychologist, y'all.
No, I'm not.
I was trying to say, but you hit me. Therapist. So, Candy, what is your take on that? Is that a saying that might be definitely ring true?
I do believe so. I think that especially more, and I don't necessarily want to get off topic. I think it's staying in topic, but even with our healthcare workers right now and our first responders, you're seeing a lot of, and it was very blaring with the one doctor who had been working hours and hours and hours of overtime trying to save lives, and then she contracted COVID herself. And she was trying to, she bounced back and she was trying to give hope to other families and encourage other families. And then she ended up taking her own life. Wow. Because it just became overwhelming. But yes, I absolutely believe that this statement is true, because there are many times that, you and I are testaments to this, that we have been going through our own personal things, but over the last 4 or 5 years, day in or day out, Monday through Friday, regardless of what we were going through, we got on and did car conversations. So I think,
and that's what made me go to, when I looked at this, I said, or some of the times when we were in our darkest places, that's when we had to help other people.
There were some times when, Kevin and I were really, really, really struggling in our own marriage. And we had other couples who came to us who said that, they admired what they saw in our dynamic. And a couple of them I took on as clients, a number of years ago for, marriage counseling, family and marriage counseling. And But it was so crazy because Kevin and I may have been experiencing our own ups and downs. And so that's the other thing about it. It used to really get on my nerves when I would see naysayers, especially on social media, say things like, why y'all going to a therapist to talk? They got their own problems. They got their own things going on. Yes, that's true, because we're all living a human experience, but not everyone has the toolbox, right? Mm-hmm. That mental health toolbox to help them to get through. So they need to speak to someone to help them to get those tools aligned in the toolbox and know which one to pull out of the toolbox when they themselves are going through things. So there were many times when, I'm a mom of 3, where I may have been giving therapy to, or involved in a therapeutic relationship with a mother who was, facing a challenge with their child, and I myself was facing a challenge with my child. Being a therapist doesn't absolve you of life's problems and ups and downs. It's just that we've been trained, and we've been, years, a number of years, not just 1 or 2 years and years of training to help us to pull that toolbox together. But guess what? Even in that, Kevin, we have a good therapist has a therapist of their own.
Yes.
That they kind of, after they see, because Kevin will tell you, at one point I had a very big caseload. So sometimes I needed to go and to be able to talk to someone. We all need somebody to lean on.
Even going a step further, it's been times where financially we've been in a struggle, and we'll hear the need from someone else. And I would tell my wife, I would be led to be like, I feel like I'm led to help that person out. And I knew it would be like God sent for me to do it, because she would never fight me against it. She would be like,
I remember the ones when you say that, every time you bring that up, I remember the one scenario we happened to be, my daughter, God blessed us, our daughter was the first child. So, she was the first granddaughter on my side of the family, first grandchild on my side of the family. And y'all know how Kevin's family gets down, like the whole village comes. And so my daughter, literally by the time she was 6 months old, her closet was filled with clothing that would last her until she was probably like 2, because that's just the way, the family kind of got down. And we had gone to church, and I remember my daughter had this big Rothschild. I don't know if y'all remember Rothschild, but big old Rothschild, what is it? One piece, snowsuit, like baby, whatever they call it. But she also had a blanket that I used to wrap her in, a big puffy blanket that I used to wrap her in. And do you remember, I don't know if you remember this, one day we were leaving church, and as we were leaving church, we saw a teenage mom, and she had a baby, and the baby was just in like maybe a little sweater thing and had a little teeny blanket wrapped on. And me and my husband just looked at her, and without making a scene, because that's the thing. If you're going to be a blessing, God sees what you're doing. You don't need to have other people see what you do.
Facebook, you giving them something.
So without anybody in that hallway, because we were in the hallway of the church, without anybody in that hallway knowing, I took my daughter's baby infant jump snowsuit, whatever it's called, off of her, and gave it to the young girl, and I just wrapped my daughter up really tight in her blanket, because the truth is my daughter had 3 in the closet at home, and I just wrapped her up in the blanket that we had, and we just ran her to the car, because that young mother was traveling on public transportation. So, you never know what a person is going through.
Yeah. So typically we try to have stories that that brings joy, and we try to encourage you, try to make you laugh, lift your spirits, but every now and then we have to tackle stories that are kind of tough in nature. It's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that's going on in the world, especially in the African American community, that we can't just ignore or skip over, because unfortunately it's a part of our culture that we have to address. It's like when Dr. King was during his civil rights era, it was certain things he couldn't overlook because he had a platform where he needed to address it to make sure he brought it to the masses so people were aware. Well, unfortunately, we have to bring a story today that is kind of sad. Well, no, it's very sad. It's disheartening. It's hurting.
I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't even watch the footage because it upset me so much.
So this is it happened in Georgia. Baby, do you have the information up?
No.
Here, read some of that really quick because I got to set up this video.
Okay, I'm sorry. So let me pull it up. I'm gonna be.
I'll do it.
No. We don't want you to do that. I'll pull it up. It's right here.
I don't want you to read the whole thing. Just excerpt.
Okay. This is my producer here, y'all. My producer.
Why don't you have that up, baby?
Huh?
Why don't you have up my timeline? I don't see. I understand why producers get mad.
So, Ahmaud Arbery, age 25, was jogging in a neighborhood outside of Brunswick. This was in Georgia on February 23rd when a former police officer and his son chased him down. Authorities say that Gregory McMichael later told officers that he thought that Arbery looked like a person suspected in a series of recent break-ins in the area. After they chased down Arbery, McMichael told police that Arbery and McMichael's son, Travis, struggled over his son's shotgun, and 2 shots were fired, and Arbery fell to the streets.
We're going to take a look at this particular video. Now, I want to warn you, it's graphic in nature. If you don't want to see it, this would be your time to turn away. But we are going to take a look at the video. We'll be
So, Tom Durden, the district attorney for the Atlantic Judicial Circuit, wrote in a news release recently obtained that he expects to present the case to the next available grand jury in Glynn County to consider whether charges are merited for those involved. To consider these people are not, these murderers are not in custody as of now. They are not in custody. Now, Governor Brian Kemp said the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has offered resources to Durden for his investigations because Georgians deserve to know the answer. When Ahmaud's mother was informed of her son being shot after an altercation, she reported that Wanda Cooper's his mother, she said that he was not armed. And she said that she never worried about him jogging because she said he wasn't bothering anyone. He wasn't a person to bother anyone.
And the crazy thing, this happened in February when this took place. The district attorney didn't make any type of statements or any situations concerning this until the tape was released. And it was released by an anonymous source. They don't know who released the tape, but they were sent to one of our advocates that's newer advocates, Sean King. I don't know if you ever watched. Sean King puts up a lot of different videos. He's always fighting for injustice in the community. He put it out and it went viral. They demanded justice. Authorities got involved, but that's when the people. But this is the thing that kind of irritated me and really upset me. These individuals had no. They weren't police officers. He was a retired police officer. It was no reason for them. They were calling themselves making a citizen arrest. Now, according to legal studies and the attorney that's handled it, he said in order for you to stop anybody for a citizen arrest, you have to see them committing the crime. So they weren't even they couldn't even utilize that. So they should have been arrested. They should have been prosecuted already. But they're
not
walking
even
free.
in custody.
And then they're using the audacity to use the coronavirus as a scapegoat to say, well, we have to wait until mid-June when we can open up the courts to do anything with this situation. If that had been a situation where the races were reversed, it would have been a totally different outcome.
It's so there's a couple of reasons why it was hard for me to watch this. Obviously, another Black life lost to racist acts. Let's just call it what it is: racist, prejudice acts. And also, as a mother of two boys, it was hard for me to watch. I just now, while you guys were watching the video, I still wasn't watching the video. It's very hard for me to watch. And as most of you know, I am a runner myself, and I run in neighborhoods, and I run sometimes in the park. And, I've had different let me just say, nothing to this magnitude, thank God. But I have had different instances where, if someone notices it's a Black person, there is a certain response, especially with the park that where I run. Police officers patrol that park, and I've kind of taken note to some of the behaviors that they'll have when there are Black men running in the park. For several reasons, it was very hard. I could not watch this. My husband says we need to report on this. I said absolutely, but I can't watch the video.
Yeah, one of the things that you can do, they do have a website where you can go and join the fight against this injustice. It's called Run RUN with Maud, MAUD.com. You can go to Run with Maud, MAUD.com, and you can join the fight against injustice. So Candy and Kev will be joining that particular petition as well, signing up and doing whatever we can do to bring enlightenment so these two gentlemen can be arrested, so that mother can have peace knowing that the killers of her son isn't walking around free. So here's
the thing, she'll never have peace because that is her son.
But she'll have
justice will be served.
Correction. So listen, again, anytime we're talking about different things, time runs out quickly. But we have a special.
But before we get to that, I remembered. I actually have a thought, but who was it that? Because we have a couple more days. Which mother were you? I actually was thinking about this person, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know she's not showing on yours, but she's showing on mine. Titania, are you still watching, Mama? If you are still watching, put your hands in the air so I can see. Put your hands in your air so I can see.
Her name is Titania?
Titania Farrell. She's she's a I know her personally, and I know her story. So if she is still watching, I know that there's a delay. I would like for us to bless her today.
So if Titania, if you're not watching, Candy's going to inbox you, so we can make sure we get your Cash App. We're going to buy lunch on us today. You can go ahead.
Lunch. We're going to buy you lunch on us today.
What did I say?
Don't even remember what you said.
So listen, everybody, we have a special musical guest. We know that story was kind of gets you upset, but we have a young lady that's going to come and kind of lift our spirits back up. This particular lady, she was a contestant on the Voice recently this particular season, and she's a background singer for Vivian Green. She's her own recording artist in her right. Her name is Tracy Preston, and she recently did in-home concert, and she allowed us to utilize a clip from there.
But before we do that, I just saw something, Kevin. I just saw that somebody was watching, and I want to be a blessing to two mothers today.
Okay.
Because we missed it yesterday. So y'all may see her name up there as Tawanda Green Jones, but we call her Wawa, right?
Wawa, yes.
So we're blessing two mothers today. Yes. Wawa, are you still watching?
Wawa, if you are there, drop us your cash app.
Tell a little about what Wawa.
Wawa, if you guys have ever heard of the young ladies from Camden called sophisticated steppers or dancers or whatever, but she does so much for the city of Camden and the youth. She's like the youth mama, like the city of Camden's mama. And when I say like she has a program, she gives to these kids like
until she literally has nothing else.
And she does it because she loves them, and we want to be a blessing to her. We want it won't be what Steve Harvey gave you or Oprah gave you,
or
but
Beyonce.
Or Beyonce, but it's just a little token to just tell you we love you, girl. A little lunch on us. Get yourself something.
So drop Kev or me, because I think we're friends on Facebook. Yeah, we are. Yes. Drop us your Cash App, Mama, because we want to, just send a little monetary gift to you so you can have lunch on us today. Titania Farrell, drop your Cash App so we can give you a monetary gift of love so you can have lunch on us today.
So taking us out on the show today is none other than Mrs. Tracy Preston. You can follow on all of our social media sites. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. We love you. Peace out.
Back when I had a little, I thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated, but I was a little too complicated. See, zero didn't satisfy me. A million wouldn't make me happy. And that's when I learned the lesson that it's all about your perception. Hey, are you a papa or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, and so you are. It ain't about the size of your car. It's about the size of the faith that's in your heart. There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Oh, there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. I smile, even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile. It's so hard to get up when you've been down. I sure would hate to see you get down. You look so much better when you smile. So I smile, even though I hurt, so I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile. You just smile, even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, even though I've been here for a while, I smile. It's hard to look up when you frown. I sure hate to see you give a crown. You look so much better when you smile. Oh, even though I'm hurting, I smile. I know it's working, so I smile. Even though I've been there for a while. So to the ground. You look so much better when you smile. So smile.